Hello and welcome back to another Picard teaser analysis, where today, I knew these were coming. I really should have taken some time during my COVID isolation when no one would see me to shower before this. But that doesn't matter, because today, from the same production staff that brought you the only season of Star Trek that I have genuinely feared for how it would affect people's lives who watched it due to moral deafness, comes the third and final season of Star Trek Picard. Look, welcome to the channel, new people. You really should have started with Lower Decks to learn that we do actually like most of what comes out of modern Star Trek. But this one, which I'm doing first, the Picard Season 3 trailer, I don't know if you'll see it first, it's why I'm doing first, because it looks like it's not too long actually, and we'll just see the cast. As always, at least I think I try and do this, I don't think I've done it, but as always, I have not seen the trailer you're about to see, but I have seen Worf, and I just checked to look, it looks like it's just gonna show the cast off. So I've seen Worf through the picture that told me these actually came down, which is how I know I'm actually gonna have something to fill a shorter video with. But beyond that, I've seen nothing. Oh, no, before, if you've never done one of these, I'm gonna watch the teaser all the way through, and you'll see reactions, instant reactions if I have some. But I'm not going to show the whole thing. For copyright, I can't. It's linked in the description. But I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to go back and do a detailed analysis, hopefully not punching my microphone again. Right, no reactions instantly that I could cut to in that editing. Yeah, basically what I thought it was. We still, interestingly, have no idea what this season actually is. It's weird for the modern Star Treks. Normally we have an idea what the plot is. This one is kind of like, hey, TNG again. I know they're not doing that. That's the whole thing they've said they never do. But yeah, a few things I noticed interestingly. Let's just go through the cast one at a time, because I think Burton is first, actually. Oh, I want to add as well, I still haven't actually seen the last 2 episodes of Season 2. I will get around to them before Season 3 starts. I know what happens. I guess, actually, does Elnor stay gone then? Because I don't actually know about that one. But he's not in this trailer. But yeah, I don't know. If people say... I'd like to do him as a live stream, but I don't know. We'll see. That's beyond this review. Burton is interesting. For one, he says better father. And to my knowledge, he never had a wife, like, in the prime timeline, let alone children. So that's new. Wait, why did he learn on the Enterprise how to be a better father? That'd be kind of weird. But I noticed he seems to be an ensign? I'm gonna assume, actually also from a slightly different uniform, he's an admiral. But it does look like he has ensign pips. I don't know, I can't read. Actually, they're curved. Does everyone else... We'll keep an eye on that, if that's what admiral pips look like, is just trapezoids. Shoutouts to whoever edited this bit with the music.
Better man, a better father, better friend.
Right here. Well done. So it looks like Seven from her line is maybe regretting what she did, is like a ranger after the supernova and stuff. I'm using very vague terms because my partner, who's just starring Next Generation, is right there, and I don't want to give too much away, even though I know you're not listening, and I know you're not going to know what any of it means anyway. But yeah, I mean, she's in a Starfleet uniform. Wait, was she... What did she do in Season 2? I don't think she was in Starfleet in Season 2. But she's in a uniform now, which is nice to see the ending we all imagined for her after Voyager. Oh my god, I didn't even notice the eyeliner last time. So you've had these rather kind of inspirational future looking back. Looking back, what you'd expect from like a Next Generation reunion. And then you get to Raffi, who even before noticing the all black and eyeliner has a line about like just how hard her life is, that Raffi doesn't make sense. She lives in poverty in a world without money in utopian abundance, and she does drugs in a world where we can just cure that. Raffi, why is she still here? We don't know, but she's actually even more Raffi than she was before.
Yeah, how hard it is to be in this world.
No, Rafi, I really don't have any idea how hard it is to be in this world, the utopian world of the next generation where we've solved all of our problems. And here he is, actually looking like an action figure in this shot. For one, he's in Starfleet, which I guess, with the ending of Deep Space Nine, that's kind of weird. But Nemesis was the ones who, they kind of broke it first. They kind of ignored Deep Space Nine originally, so I guess that makes sense. There's theories that maybe he didn't take that, like, position as ambassador, and he just, like, he tried it out and was like, you know what, this is dumb, I'm going back to the Enterprise. But yeah, that's a Nemesis the problem more than Picard. Wait, is that 5? No, that's 4 pips. So he seems to be a captain. Are they weird pips? I can't tell. I think they're just pips, so I'm gonna assume Geordi was like an admiral. But if you remember in season 1 of Picard, actually maybe even before it aired, we'd only had Discovery Klingons in modern Trek at that point. I think season 2 toned them back a little bit, but we only had Discovery Klingons. And someone asked one of the heads of who produced Picard, thinking about it, that might have been the other guy who did season 1. I don't remember their names, but I feel like the Twitter message I'm picturing is the guy who currently show runs, and asked if Worf ever comes back to Picard, is it going to be a Discovery Klingon, or is he going to look like Worf? Which I loved how the question was phrased, which I think everyone was concerned about at the time, and it was just a flat-out response. I'll put it up if I can find it. Worf will look like Worf. So when I saw Worf on the thumbnail, when I saw a Klingon on the thumbnail, I went, oh, so Picard's doing Klingons. Not only did I not clock that this was Worf, but I'm wondering why I'm looking at what is distinctly a movie-era Klingon, a TMP-era Klingon, with much less defined ridges, little nose. Like, why does Worf not look like Worf? You might say, when a Klingon gets old, maybe their ridges fade, whatever, they're a bit softer, whatever. Why is literally no Klingon in the history of the entire Federation we ever see that happen to? We see Kang and Koloth in Deep Space Nine with extraordinarily prominent ridges. Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if the answer is Michael Dorn didn't want to have to sit through so much makeup or wear so much makeup. But, I mean, he's been campaigning for, like, a Worf series for, like, 20 years now or something? So, I mean, he kind of should know what he's expecting. But also, like, that's still a lot of makeup. And we've got much better cameras. I mean, not that Worf's makeup was ever bad, but that looks like it'd be harder to do, actually, than maybe his usual prosthetic. Let me get him up, side by side. And yes, let me get the proper Worf up. Here's a Deep Space Nine Worf. Yeah. So, like, you kind of got the ridge thing here that looks more straight than Worf's kind of curvy, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that that's, like, an angle thing. Worf's nose is, like, completely wrong there. I feel like Worf's nose goes down, and this nose goes up. Like, that's... What have you done there? Is that a Discovery nose? Okay, I'll give them that that's not a Discovery Klingon nose. But yeah, it just looks weird, and you have none of this detail up here. It's just kind of flat on there. Like, the general ridge pattern there is there, but it's a lot more curvy, whereas Worf had it more pointed. Let's go TNG Season 1. Let's see what they're trying to go for. Oh, definitely not that. I guess what really confuses me is, like, it's very much a Klingon, but it's, like, this kind of Klingon. He's a bad example. Yeah, he's this kind of Klingon. He's, like, a TMP era Klingon way more than a TNG era. Like, he has much less defined cranial ridges, and, like, Star Trek DS9 Kang... If we just go to Old Klingons, like, they don't lose their ridges. They have very prominent ridges. Well, actually, hang on. Oh, am I proving myself wrong right away here? Because how many Old Klingons do we see? Those are actually rather sunken. I can't compare the young versions of Kang and Koloth. Kor? Kang and Koloth because they didn't have ridges, they're TOS Klingons. How long have I been ranting on about this? But you know what? I take it all back. Actually, the nose thing is weird. But I guess they have less defined nose as well. Maybe old Klingons just don't have very well-defined features. Not all Klingon, old Klingon. not old Klingon like TOS. Elder Klingon. I don't know, you got the Enterprise. Actually, hang on, we have an elderly Worf right here. I forgot we had an elderly Worf. I don't know, because you got ones like these. He's super well-defined ridges. Maybe Korg. Well, that one's hard. Maybe Korg, Kang, and Koloth didn't have them because they were kind of TMP or TOS-style Klingons. I don't think that's a Klingon. I don't know. I'll give them there's enough precedent for it. But, yeah, I have remembered we have actually seen what an old Worf would look like. And he does have much more to... Oh, hang on. Wait, his ridges go up. Wait, no, Worf's ridges always went up. That wasn't the problem. It's kind of the way they're layered, if you see, where Worf's ridges kind of poked into one another, where these much more fold on top. And, like, that's bone. I'm pretty sure that's bone. That's not, like, skin that's gonna sag with age. But, yeah, because you see it's still there in this old Worf. I don't know. This is Q-Vision Worf. I don't know if we've seen a genuine old Worf before, but there's kind of enough precedent for it. I just don't really understand why Worf doesn't look like Worf. Especially to the point where, like, yeah, it's true for some of these actors, because I functionally haven't seen them in 30 years, but I didn't actually recognize this as Worf when I saw him in isolation of the voice. I went, oh, Picard is doing Klingons. You know, interesting Troy isn't in a Starfleet uniform. I guess, I don't know if she's retired or not. I don't know. She's got a good line. I can kind of see her and Riker are going to be, like, moving on after what we learned in season 1. Again, partner. But, yeah, it's Troy. Riker's looking great as, Space Indiana Jones with, oh, I've just seen, I don't like those pips that Worf had them like it as well, where they're vertical and not actually on a collar. Like, put those sideways, but yes, he is a captain, and they're just the circles, so I'm gonna guess LaForge was an admiral. Riker holding a phaser, as of course, this is Picard, but what does he actually say? Well, it's just kind of vague. Well, Beverly was kind of interesting, where welcome to the other actress I didn't recognize immediately until I heard her incredibly distinctive voice, but Beverly's line.
In this moment, let's do what we spent our lives learning to be great at.
I mean, it makes sense, but for Beverly specifically, there's a very obvious connection here to make, bringing Picard and Crusher into the same show again, decades after TNG. And that line doesn't suggest it. Like, I mean, what you learn to be great at is, well, you're a great doctor, and Picard's a great captain. I guess you could do more of the, like, will they, won't they thing. Like, she has to be the captain, or she has to be the doctor. Picard has to be the captain, and they can't just flirt or whatever, but hang on, does she have a rank? She's not in a Starfleet uniform either. Oh no, she is. You can just see there, but it's like some weird leather because this is an adult drama show. It's a self-proclaimed adult drama show. I'm almost a bit worried, actually, that we still, for the teaser, like, everything is built around, hey, they're bringing back the Next Generation cast, but, like, what's the show actually about? You can make a show that's just, let's check in on the Next Generation cast 20 years after TNG. I don't think they want to make that show. I don't want this team to make that show, and that's not very adult drama. It's just not what this show does, and I'm kind of worried first off, they might be selling it wrong, which was a big problem with Discovery in the early time, where what they were selling was not what the show was being delivered as. Like, Discovery was always kind of sold as the flagship Star Trek series, and it's not that. It's Like especially early on, it was like the serialized, it was a drama. That's what it was. And it just didn't line up with the flagship series of Next Generation, Voyager, Enterprise style show. And so I'm kind of like, eventually we get a trailer that like what's actually going on. But I kind of worry if we're going to go in and be like, oh, it's going to be like a Next Generation reunion, and then it's just another season of Picard that happens to have the TNG cast in it. And there is at least one scene with the whole cast. We've told that. Not even all at once, is kind of the concern. I'm worried they don't have anything else other than, well, this isn't going well. We'll just bring back the TNG cast. Because again, if you remember when Picard was first announced, Patrick Stewart very clearly had I would not do this unless they went with this incredibly specific 3-stage, 3-season plan. He had the 3 seasons mapped out and he knew exactly what he wanted to do. I'm still wondering where the heck that plan was, because season 1 and season 2 were leagues apart, and season 3 is just thrown out the old show and brought in a bunch of new stuff. Season 1 was about closure, I guess, closing the door on the past. Oh no, here could be the thing. Season 2 is, what's the cute stuff? What is season 2 for Picard? It's hard to answer having not finished it. It's looking back at his family history. It's settling his familial past, his roots, is kind of putting closure on that, which kind of suggests season 3 is either, I was originally going into like moving on and like doing something with the rest of his life, but it could also be a closing the door on kind of maybe his career life or his personal life. I don't know. I'd expect it would end in like we're never getting Picard again way, just from what Patrick Stewart would want. I don't think he'll ever play the character again. I don't know. It's just give me something to work with, This was just a nice little look at all the people. I mean, they all slip back into their roles expertly by the looks of things. But I still kind of want to know what the show's about. And I will watch it, yes. That's a given. I have negative expectations, probably. I have entered seasons knowing I will despise them and very much enjoyed them before. Discovery Season 3 was very much that. I knew I would hate everything about Discovery Season 3. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, so I might be surprised, but again, they filmed Season 3 at the same time as Season 2, meaning that they couldn't have learned anything from Season 2, so none of Season 2's problems can be fixed. Originally, it was going to be, if Season 2 didn't fix Season 1 problems, then neither will Season 3. Season 2 didn't fix Season 1's problems, but it actually was, like, far worse. And so, I don't trust these people to write a show. Not a good show. Like, I've still cite Discovery Season 2 as the worst season of television ever made. But Picard, it's not a bad season of, like, television, but it's just so ignorant. The writers or the producers, the people who made the show are so kind of ignorant of the effect, the influence, and the role, the effect they have on society and people in society, that it's, I mean, one of my reviews has the suicide hotlines across the whole globe at the top because it's just so morally disturbing, and it is not aware of that in any way. But yeah, that's Picard. I guess we're looking forward to it. I'm glad it's still around in the sense that Section 31 is following that, and I can't see Section 31 being better or even like the same level. But yeah, this is why you should have started with Lower Decks, because that one, I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I saw the picture of Deep Space Nine on the Cerritos' view screen. And as you can tell by my giant Deep Space Nine model that you can hopefully see back there, yes, we're still sorting out the room. I'm going to be a lot happier in that one than I am with this. So, God, what am I even going to put in this thumbnail, actually? Worf? I don't know. God, that's a great picture of how I feel. This, honestly, this right here with Raffi is how I see Picard. This is what Star Trek Picard looks like in my mind. Right, Alex, what do you think about my vision? This is what Star Trek Picard looks like in my head.
She's pretty. I like her.
All right, Alex can't have opinions yet because they don't know enough about Star Trek to have opinions on Picard. So.
I will hit you with a
Thanks
slipper.
for watching. Lower Decks review either already out or coming out probably hours after this, actually, thinking about how long it's going to take to put together. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.